The invitation sat on my kitchen counter, all cream cardstock and gold script, mocking me with its elegance. You're cordially invited to the wedding of Mia Bennett and Ethan Cole, my little sister's wedding, planned for next month at our family's lakeside estate in Michigan, and I'd only just found out, by accident, when a cousins group chat buzzed with dress code questions. Nobody had bothered to tell me, not Mia, not Mom, not Dad. I stood there, coffee going cold, realizing my own family had erased me from their biggest moment. My name's Claire Addison, and at 32, I thought I knew what betrayal felt like. But this was a knife I didn't see coming, and it cut deeper than anything I'd ever felt. I called Mia, hoping it was a mistake. Hey, I saw the group chat about your wedding, I said, keeping my voice light. When were you gonna send my invite? A pause, then her laugh, too quick, too sharp. Oh, Claire, I thought Mom told you. It's next month, super small. Just immediate family and Ethan's side. You know how crazy planning's been. Immediate family, I repeated, my stomach twisting. But not me. Well, you're always so busy with your law firm, she said, like it was obvious. We figured you couldn't make it. Plus, we needed someone to handle the estate's paperwork, permits, vendors, all that. Mom said you'd be perfect for it. The paperwork. They hadn't invited me to the wedding, they'd assigned me chores. I stared at the invitation, my name nowhere on it, and something broke inside me. For years, I'd been the family's fixer, paying bills, solving crises, keeping the estate afloat, while Mia was the golden child, her every whim indulged. Now, they'd crossed a line, and I wasn't just hurt, I was done. But I wasn't going to cry or beg. I was going to make them see me, really see me, for the first time. And by the time I was through, they'd never forget what it cost to leave me out. I grew up in Grand Rapids, in the shadow of our family's sprawling lakeside estate, a 10-acre relic of my great-grandfather's lumber fortune. It was beautiful. But a money pit, with taxes and upkeep bleeding us dry. As the older sister, I learned early to shoulder the load. At 16, I was balancing the estate's books while Mia, 4 years younger, practiced her ballet routines. I didn't mind then. I loved the place, its oak groves, the dock where I'd read as a kid. But love came with a price. When I got into Northwestern law, my parents said, "That's nice, Claire," and paid for Mia's dance academy instead. My scholarship covered school, and I worked nights to afford rent, graduating top of my class. Mia dropped dance at 19. To find her passion, funded by Mom and Dad's dwindling savings. By 28, I'd built a solid career as a probate attorney, specializing in family estates. I took over the lake property's finances, paying taxes from my savings when Dad's hardware store tanked. Last year alone, I funneled $60,000 into repairs, new roof, updated plumbing, so the estate could host events like Mia's wedding. "You're our rock," Mom would say, but it always came with a request, "Can you cover the insurance? Handle the permits?" Mia, meanwhile, flitted through yoga certifications and influencer gigs, her Instagram full of sunsets and sponsored smoothies, all bankrolled by our parents. 6 months ago, Mia announced her engagement to Ethan, a tech startup guy with a flashy smile. I was thrilled, picturing family barbecues, maybe a chance to reconnect. They asked me to handle the estate's legal prep for the wedding, zoning, contracts, the works. "It's a big help," Dad said. "We'll make it up to you." I spent weekends buried in paperwork, assuming I'd be there, toasting my sister. Under the stars. Instead, here I was, uninvited, expected to play secretary while they celebrated without me. That night, I called my cousin Leah, the chatty one who'd spilled the news. "Did you know they didn't invite me?" I asked. She hesitated. "I thought you were just busy. Mia said you couldn't get time off." "I have 3 weeks of vacation saved," I said. "They never asked." Leah sighed. "That's messed up. They've been planning this for months, Claire. Mia's been posting about it, too, bridesmaid fittings, cake tastings. I assumed you were in the loop." I pulled up Mia's Instagram. Private but visible through Leah's account. There it was, dress shopping, venue tours, not a mention of me. My parents' comments gushed, "So proud of our girl," while I was nowhere in the frame. The betrayal wasn't just the wedding. It was years of being their means, not their daughter. I closed my laptop, resolve hardening. They wanted me invisible? I'd make them see me in a way they couldn't ignore. The next morning, I called my friend Sarah, a family law attorney with a knack for strategy. "I need advice," I said, laying out the wedding snub and my role in the estate. "They're using my money and work to throw a party I'm not invited to." Sarah whistled. "That's cold. Legally, you've got leverage. You've been funding the estate without a formal agreement, right?" "Yeah, just verbal promises they'd make it right." "Perfect. Those promises, plus your financial contributions, give you a claim." The estate's in your parents' name, but your payments could be argued as an investment. We can file a lien or demand repayment, which would freeze any event, like a wedding, until it's resolved. I don't want to ruin Mia's day, I said. I just want them to feel this. Then we send a demand letter, Sarah said. Outline your contributions, $60,000 last year, plus years of taxes and labor, and request repayment or a stake in the estate. It'll hit like a bomb, but it's not a lawsuit yet. They'll have to face you. I spent the day compiling records, bank transfers, receipts, emails where Dad promised, we'll settle up. By evening, I had a folder thick with proof. Sarah drafted the letter, $75,000 due within 30 days for Claire Addison's contributions to the Addison estate, or we'll pursue legal action, potentially halting all events. I mailed it to my parents and Mia, certified, and waited. The explosion came faster than I expected. Mia called that night, voice shaking. A lawsuit? Are you serious? You're going to ruin my wedding over money? It's not about money, I said. It's about you planning a family event on my dime and not inviting me. You're always working, she snapped. We thought you'd say no. Did you ask? Or did you just assume I'd be your errand girl? Silence. Then, Mom's freaking out. Dad says we can't afford this. You're tearing us apart. Funny, I said, I thought leaving me out did that. You've got 28 days. Figure it out. Mom called next, tearful. Claire, how could you? After all we've done for you. All you've done? I said. You paid for Mia's dance, her yoga retreats, her engagement party. I paid for the estate you're using for her wedding. When's the last time you did something for me? We thought you were too busy, she sobbed. Come to dinner tomorrow. We'll fix this as a family. No, I said. This isn't a family right now. It's a business dispute. Talk to Sarah. I hung up, hands trembling but heart steady. My phone buzzed with texts, uncles calling me selfish, cousins pleading for peace. I ignored them and opened a travel site. If they wouldn't include me, I'd make my own plans. A villa in Tuscany caught my eye, available the week of the wedding. I didn't book it, yet, but it felt like a lifeline. A week later, Leah called, voice low. You need to know something. I was at the estate yesterday, and Mia's freaking out. They can't pay you back without selling assets, and the wedding's at risk. But there's more. I overheard your dad talking to a lawyer about transferring the estate to Mia's name to protect it from you. My blood ran cold. They're trying to cut me out entirely? Sounds like it. Your mom was crying, saying they didn't mean to hurt you, but Mia's pushing hard. She says you're jealous and trying to sabotage her. I called Sarah, relaying Leah's tip. Can they do that? Not easily, she said. Your contributions give you a claim, and a transfer now would look like fraud to avoid debt. We need proof. Anyone else hear this? Leah, but she's scared to get involved. Then we dig. Get me access to the estate's financials, anything you've got. I'd kept records as the estate's unofficial manager, tax filings, repair invoices, even emails where Mom thanked me for saving the place. Sarah sent a second letter, this time demanding all estate records since my payments began. This'll spook them, she said. They'll know we're serious. The response was chaos. Dad showed up at my office, face red. You're suing us? Your own family? Your grandfather would be ashamed. Would he? I said, calm. I'm protecting the estate he built, the one I've paid to keep alive. You're the ones giving it to Mia to dodge me. We're not dodging, he shouted. We're trying to save Mia's wedding. By screwing me over? I paid $60,000. Last year alone. Where's my invite, Dad? He faltered. We thought you'd be too busy. You're always working. You didn't ask. You assumed I'd handle the grunt work while you celebrated. Now you're hiding assets to shut me out. His eyes widened. Who told you that? Doesn't matter. I know. And so will a judge if you don't make this right. He left, muttering about family loyalty. Mia texted, you're jealous of my happiness. Mom's a wreck because of you, I blocked her and pulled up the Tuscany villa again. Its stone walls and vineyard views whispered freedom. 2 weeks later, Leah called, frantic. Claire, you need to come to the estate. Now. I drove the hour to the lake, finding her in the barn, surrounded by wedding decor, tulle, fairy lights, half-packed boxes. What's going on? They're falling apart, she said. Mia's canceled vendors, saying they can't afford the wedding with your demands. Your mom's blaming you, but your dad, he let something slip. They've been using estate funds for personal stuff, Mia's engagement ring, their anniversary cruise. I saw the bank statements. Show me, I said. She hesitated, then handed over printouts. There it was, $15,000 for a diamond, $8,000 for a Caribbean trip, all drawn from the estate's account. I'd been propping up my money, funneled into their luxuries while I was left out. I called Sarah, sending photos of the statements. "This is fraud," she said. "They're misusing estate funds you provided. We can amend the demand, full repayment, plus damages. Or we file for an audit. That'll stop the wedding cold." "I don't want to destroy them," I said. "I want them to see me." "Then we confront them," Sarah said. "Set a meeting, bring the evidence, and give them one chance to make it right." I texted Mom, Dad, and Mia, meeting at the estate tomorrow, 3 p.m. Bring your lawyer. "We're settling this," Mia replied, "You're bluffing. You won't ruin my wedding." I sent back a photo of the cruise receipt. No response. The barn smelled of cedar and regret when I arrived, evidence folder in hand. Mom, Dad, Mia, and their lawyer, a nervous guy named Greg, sat at a folding table. Mia's eyes were red, Mom's face tight, Dad's hands fidgeting. I didn't sit. "Thanks for coming," I said. "Let's talk about the estate. Specifically, the $75,000 I've put in since 2023. I laid out bank transfers. I was promised a stake. Instead, I got left out of Mia's wedding while doing the legal grunt work." "It was a misunderstanding," Mom said, voice wobbly. "We thought you were too busy." I held up the invitation. "My name's not here. But my money is, $15,000 for Mia's ring, $8,000 for your cruise." I spread the statements. "You used estate funds, my funds, for personal expenses. That's fraud." Greg paled. Mia gasped. "How did you?" "Doesn't matter," I said. "Here's the deal, repay the $75,000, plus 6% interest, or I file for an audit. No wedding happens until the estate's books are clean." "You're jealous," Mia shouted. "You've always hated that I'm the favorite." "Favorite?" I said. "I paid to keep this place so you could have your dream wedding. I'm not jealous, I'm done being invisible." Dad stood. "Claire, we can't pay that. We'd have to sell the estate." "Then sell it," I said. "Or come clean. Your call." Mom sobbed. "You destroy us?" "You destroyed us," I said, softer. "When you left me out." Greg cleared his throat. "We need time to review." "No," I said. "You have 48 hours. Pay me, or the court decides." I drove home, expecting guilt but feeling clarity. They'd made their choices, now they'd face mine. That night, I booked the Tuscany villa, same dates as the wedding. If they wouldn't include me, I'd build my own joy. The next day, Leah called. "They're scrambling. Mia's begging banks for loans, but no one'll touch the estate with your claim. Your dad's talking about selling his store to cover it. And Mia, she's a mess. Says she didn't know about the cruise or ring." "Didn't know?" I said. "She's wearing the proof." "There's more," Leah said. "I found emails. Your parents took out a secret loan against the estate last year, using your payments as collateral. They didn't tell you because they knew you'd stop funding them." I called Sarah, sending the emails. "This is gold," she said. "They've been defrauding you for years. We can push for criminal charges, embezzlement, maybe." "I just want my money," I said. "And for them to see me." Then we up the pressure. "I'll amend the demand, $75,000, interest, and a public apology, or we file tomorrow." With 24 hours left, Dad showed up at my condo, clutching a check for $50,000. "It's all we can get," he said. "We mortgaged the store. Please, Claire, don't ruin Mia's wedding." "It's not enough," I said. "And it's not about the wedding. It's about years of using me." "We didn't mean to," he said, eyes wet. "We thought you were okay with it. You thought I'd keep paying to be invisible? I'm not your ATM, Dad. I'm your daughter." He left, head down. Mia texted, "You win. We're canceling the wedding. Happy now?" I didn't reply, but I didn't feel happy, just hollow. The deadline passed. Sarah filed the audit request, freezing the estate's accounts. The wedding was postponed, vendors unpaid. I flew to Tuscany, expecting to feel triumphant, but the villa's beauty, olive groves, sun-soaked hills, felt bittersweet. I posted photos on my neglected blog, Claire's Corners, writing about starting over. Followers poured in, sharing their own stories of family betrayal. A week later, Leah emailed, "Check Mia's Instagram." I did, expecting venom. Instead, there was a post, a photo of the estate, captioned, "I messed up. I took my sister for granted, and it cost us everything. Claire, I'm sorry. I hope we can talk." Comments from Mom and Dad echoed her. "We failed you, Claire. We're trying to do better." I didn't respond, but when I returned, a package waited, my old sketchbook. From high school, filled with estate drawings. Dad's note read, This belongs with someone who loves the place like we should have loved you. Inside was a check, $25,000, the rest of my money, from the store sale. 6 months later, I stood on a new property, 20 acres in Michigan. Wine country, bought with my repaid funds. I'd started Addison Vines, a boutique winery, with Leah as my manager. Mia called, tentative. I'm getting married next year, small ceremony. I want you there, not as a fixer, but as my sister. I hesitated. I'll think about it. Mom and Dad framed my blog photos at their house, and Dad followed my posts, commenting on grape yields. They weren't perfect, Mom still fussed. Mia had selfish streaks, but they were trying. I'd gone to Tuscany to escape their erasure, but I'd found my place. As I planted my first vines, I knew, they'd tried to write me out, but I'd written my own story, and it was just beginning.